Day 1. Arriving in Jeddah, a warm embrace from the Red Sea. Touching down at Jeddah International Airport, I was immediately swept into the warm Saudi air. It had a hint of salt and promise. A friendly local guide greeted me with a smile that felt like a welcome mat. And just like that, I was in a world I had only read about. The drive to the hotel was a haze of motion and wonder. Palm-lined boulevards, hints of shimmering water in the distance, and the soft glow of golden buildings under the setting sun. I checked into my hotel and stood quietly by the window, soaking in the skyline. That first night, I barely slept. Too much anticipation was humming through me. Memory of the day. That salty breeze off the Red Sea felt like the city whispering, "You're going to love it here." Day 2. Layers of time in Jeddah. Morning arrived with the hum of the city below and the soft scent of cardamom drifting from the hotel breakfast buffet. Our first stop was the Tayebat Museum, a treasure trove of Saudi heritage tucked into 4 floors of history. Ha ha! The Islamic manuscripts, with their meticulous calligraphy, stopped me in my tracks, while the traditional dresses transported me straight into a Bedouin tent in the desert. Each room was a portal. I could have spent hours just tracing the past with my eyes. Next came the Jeddah Open Museum on the Corniche. The sculptures here, some towering, others delicate, were scattered like thoughtful punctuation along the shore. With the Red Sea sparkling nearby, the art felt alive, breathing with the ocean. Then there it was, the Floating Mosque, poised over the water like a dream. White domes glistened in the sun, and I stood still, watching it shimmer. It was so peaceful, so serene, I barely noticed how long I'd been staring. We paused for a moment at the King Fahd fountain. Who knew a stream of water could feel so dramatic? It shot 300 meters into the sky, roaring and defiant, like the city itself. In the afternoon, we walked into Al-Balad, Jeddah's old town. The streets curled and coiled, taking us past coral houses with their wooden mashrabia windows. But it was Nassif House that took my breath away. Built in the 1800s, it stood like a proud sentinel of history. With whispers of trade caravans and family tales etched into every beam. That evening, back at the hotel, I sat on the balcony and let everything settle. The colors, the textures, the deep pulse of this city. Memory of the day. The scent of old wood and spice in Al-Balad. It felt like history had a heartbeat, and I was listening to it. Day 3, a pilgrim's view of Medina. Today began at the Jeddah train station, where I boarded the high-speed train to Medina. Gliding at nearly 300 kilometers per hour, my guide met me with the quiet reverence the city seemed to demand. We began at the International Fair and Museum of the Prophet Biography and Islamic Civilization. I felt a hush come over me as I moved through the halls. Each display was rich, respectful, and filled with meaning. Driving down Kiba Street, I learned it connected 2 of Islam's holiest sites, the Prophet's Mosque and Kiba Mosque. As a non-Muslim, I couldn't go inside, but even from the outside, their elegance radiated a sense of purpose and peace. I stood across from the Prophet's Mosque, tears welling up unexpectedly. Sometimes you don't need to understand everything to feel everything. Lunch was in a local restaurant near Souk Taiba, where I watched families shop, vendors joke, and the city breathe in and out in a rhythm both ancient and alive. That evening, I returned to Jeddah with my heart full and mind quiet. Memory of the day, standing before the Prophet's mosque, not as a tourist, but as a human in awe of devotion. Day 4. Until next time, Jeddah. My final morning in Jeddah was slow and sacred. I lingered over breakfast, letting the sweet dates and strong Arabic coffee wrap around me like a farewell hug. The airport transfer was seamless, but my emotions were anything but. I had arrived 4 days ago, curious and open. I was leaving moved and changed. Memory of the day. The lingering echo of the Red Sea wind against the mosque's marble. A sound I'll carry long after the plane takes off.